we got here in 2003, and by 2005, we had our first Brandhouse Woman wines made.
Wow.
And it was through the help of our neighbor, the Villera farm, who saw us struggling every day and came out and said to us, "But you guys look like you are fish outside the water. What are you doing here?" We said, "We're going to make wine." They said, "No, you won't. It's not possible." We said, "Why?" "Because you don't know anything about making wine, and it's very expensive. But the good news is we can help you." And they decided to mentor me and my son, and then we were able to make the wine. We struggled also on the market because our initial idea was to have about 70% of our wine sold on the local market and about 30% on the export market. But because the brand is not known and South Africa is small and not many people actually drink wine, before we got bankrupt, I said to my son, "I think we should change our strategy and probably try the export market, particularly because the government then and still now is helping small farms and even established companies through their programs to go on international exhibitions." So we started going on to those exhibitions. First, I had to go on to an export marketing course, and after that, we marketed our wines. Unfortunately, by 2007, when Marks and Spencers from Europe came to South Africa to come and look and see if they can get new producers, I said to my son, "Let's get them and let's speak to them." And we're lucky enough for them to actually take our wines on board, and they've been our biggest importers into the UK since then. And we have grown since then, and then we were able to get onto the US market as well through Whole Foods. And the farming side was always a difficult side. The wine side was easier. At the time when I spoke to Marks and Spencers, I also approached Woolworths locally, and the wheels of Woolworths take a long time to turn. They kept on saying, "We like you, we love your story, we like what you're doing, and we will take the Mhudi brand on board in time." True to form, in 2010, we were able to get our wines listed on Woolworths shelves. You can find it on some of the Woolworths shelves. A success in the wine industry. Recently, with all the farm work problems and the like, the farm is not doing very well, but the wine brand is doing well, to the point where we have decided that we are going to expand our wine range. Apart from Mhudi, now we have wines, other 3 brands. One of them is the Velvet range, the other is Sailor V, because life keeps tripping you all the way.
Like the wine.
Yes. And the need also arose that we should expand, therefore, our volumes, because with the now government agreements with the BRICS countries, we are able to explore new opportunities in China, which is what we are doing now. We are sending off samples to China, and it will be our second trip to China now, and we hope we take it out there. And that's the Mhudi story. My biggest lesson, because there are many. Firstly, that you don't put your eggs in one basket. Yeah, because we were very successful on the export market, big in the US in 42 states, and in the UK in about 200 and something stores of Marks and Spencers. But as soon as the recession hit the US and is still now gripping Europe, our success actually became our nightmare. So we had to go back and redo our strategy to refocus our approach to also include Africa. And fortunately, we have been now able to export to Nigeria. The second lesson that I have learned is actually that when you start something and you do it, I've done many things in my life. Wine is just one of them. That all the time, what you are actually trying to do is to find your greatest purpose in life. It's not just about this thing that you are doing. So as I asked myself, am I now making and selling alcohol? I realized that actually, no, that's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is inspiring women to look bigger and further through the service of wine. So I'm in the business of inspiring women through the service of wine. And when I look at it that way, I find that I can serve my product and the people with more dignity and with respect, and that also I find that it rubs onto them, offs onto them, so that they too take the product as such and use it in that way, and in that way not fall in the trap of alcohol abuse or something, because it is something that inspires them, it's something that they want to learn more about. And the other thing is that, the last one, is that we get held back by our fears and nothing else. So I've had to learn, because there are many challenges out there and obstacles out there. I've had to learn and tell my family that our mantra at Mhudi is going to be that the journey begins, because every day brought with it new challenges, opportunities, and obstacles, but most importantly, lessons to learn. So I've learned to make my courage bigger than my fear.